Ever notice how some people move through life differently? Not louder, not more aggressively, just differently. They observe more than they speak, value independence above popularity, and seem perfectly content operating outside the usual social hierarchies. These are often called sigma males, and they're frequently misunderstood. People label them as cold, arrogant, or indifferent. But there's a deeper truth most miss. Sigma males aren't trying to be distant. They're simply protecting something valuable beneath the surface. Let's explore what actually happens when these independent spirits drop their guard, and why those rare moments matter so much. The walls come down. When you showed up with no agenda, Sigma males are constantly measuring one thing: intention. Not your words, not how loudly you claim to care, but the quiet patterns behind your actions. When you consistently show up with nothing to gain, no spotlight, no reward, no social leverage, it challenges their core belief that most relationships are transactional. They've seen how quickly "I'm here for you" turns to silence when the room gets dark. So when someone appears with genuine presence, no strings attached, something shifts. Not because they suddenly trust everyone, but because for once, they don't feel like someone's opportunity. You understand the weight of betrayal. There's a distinctive silence carried by people who've been deeply betrayed. It's not bitter or loud, it's still heavy and sharp in places others can't see. Sigma males recognize this in others who've been wounded but didn't become cynical. The connection begins not through shared interests, but shared experience. You didn't press for explanations or try to fix their guardedness because you intuitively understand its source. You didn't ask for their trust. You earned it by simply standing beside their pain without trying to rush them through it. You never tried to use them. Trust for a Sigma male doesn't collapse because someone made a mistake. It crumbles when they realize they were viewed as a means to an end. They have finely tuned radar for detecting when people approach them for access, advantage, or borrowed identity, rather than genuine connection. When you enter their world without pulling strings or testing boundaries, when you stay as a person, not a strategist, they notice. What makes you different isn't what you say, but what you don't try to take. No angle, no transaction, no hidden agenda behind your presence. You're honest even when it costs you. Sigma males don't respect convenient honesty. They value the kind that's messy, that risks comfort or image, but still chooses authenticity. Whether you spoke the uncomfortable truth in a room, admitted something others wouldn't acknowledge, or refused to sugarcoat reality, your willingness to be real rather than perfect resonates deeply. They've been flattered with empty words and watched people pretend to care until the mask slipped. When you offer truth not as a weapon but as a mirror, letting them choose what to do with it, you become someone they don't have to decode. Someone whose words aren't traps or rehearsals. You made them feel understood without needing to be right. Perhaps the most misunderstood aspect of Sigma males isn't their distance, but how quietly misunderstood they feel. For someone who keeps so much inside their own mind, being truly seen without interruption or correction is transformative. They don't need applause or agreement. What they quietly crave is to be heard without being reshaped, to speak without having their perspective constantly improved mid-sentence. When you listen without trying to adjust the meaning, when you can sit with a thought different from your own without pushing back, it demonstrates a respect that loud admiration never could. The quiet revolution. In a world that often mistakes loudness for strength and constant connection for depth, Sigma males remind us that some of the most powerful presences move quietly. They're not broken, not antisocial, not arrogant. They're simply selective about where they invest their energy and who they allow into their inner world. When someone breaks through that careful boundary, it's never with grand gestures or demands. It's through consistency, authenticity, and the rare ability to respect both their silence and their voice. If you recognize yourself or someone you care about in these words, remember, The deepest connections aren't built on performance or persistence, but on the quiet recognition of someone's true nature and the patience to honor it exactly as it is. Stay true to yourself. Keep evolving. And remember that understanding often speaks louder than words.